Greetings. I was just taking a walk, thinking about some stuff as I usually do. And what I was thinking about today was space. I recently played a synthesizer gig where I don't play synth gigs a lot. I play piano gigs a lot. And I find that I act slightly differently between those two. And I think it's because I don't have the same experience performing on the synthesizer as I do on piano. So there's a certain comfort level that's diminished when I'm playing instruments I'm not as familiar with playing live, if that makes sense. So anyway, space. When I teach students a lot, any piano student that I teach, but especially students who are learning how to improvise, I always talk about embracing the space. I find that a lot of students want to play through space. Even as beginners, when they're starting to read music, and let's say you have a whole note or something long that you need to hold, they're usually pretty hesitant to just hold the note or count through the note. They always want to move on to the next thing, and I think it's because you're slightly fearful of that gap, that space in the music. And one big thing I learned on piano was at one point, I started to embrace that space. It's a very powerful tool for bringing the listener in to what you're doing. It's also a way to calm yourself and think about what you're doing. You don't have to fill up the space all the time. That's the point. I mean, there's that old quote about how the space is just as important as the notes, or the silence is just as important as the notes, which is true. Going back to teaching that, I think it's hard to just say that to someone. I don't think I really understood the use of space until I had performed quite a bit in front of an audience of people. Because there's a lot of factors at play when you're performing. You're a little nervous, there's an audience, the room is different. There's a lot of different factors than just sitting in your bedroom or your living room playing. And I think I experienced that this past weekend when I played the synthesizer show. I realized I was in my own head and I wasn't sort of listening to what I was doing as much as I usually do. And I was a little afraid to stop playing and leave a little space to sort of figure out what I was doing. And I think it's because I'm not used to playing synthesizer in front of people. So I have yet to develop the ability to feel comfortable on that instrument in front of a crowd of people yet. Like if I play a piano gig, it's almost like second nature now. I mean, if I'm playing, I can look around the room, I can kind of read what's going on. I sort of sometimes detach myself from what I'm doing so I can hear the space around me. But when I was playing synthesizer, that definitely was tougher. So I encourage anybody who's, learning music or playing an instrument to try to play in front of people. I guess one way you could practice this is to do sort of live streams, and I may plan on doing that. I say it all the time, but if I get comfortable playing the synthesizer or electronic music live in a setting where I don't have the ability to stop, I think that'll help me develop my live skills even more, playing all these instruments. Anyway, just what I was thinking about. Use space. Easier said than done. All right, I'll see you next time.